What's up, YouTube? So I wanted to get a quick video out about the Simpson Venom. Now, when I ordered this, I had a ton of people asking questions about what it actually is. So this is the exact same helmet, spoiler alert, as a Ghost Bandit, Simpson Ghost Bandit. So Simpson does not own the rights to the Ghost Bandit name in the UK. So everything about it's identical. It doesn't have it marked here, but it does have ECE certification, which is actually a little harder to get than DOT. It doesn't have DOT certification, but that doesn't mean it's any less safe. It just means that they didn't bother getting the US Department of Transportation certification for a helmet that's not sold in the United States. You might be asking, why did I pick up this particular helmet versus just buying a Ghost Bandit? Number one is that this pattern is not available in the US on any of the Ghost Bandit styles, so I had to go overseas to find the color pattern that I wanted to. I was looking for a Crypsis, which is the green and black camo pattern that they make the Ghost Bandit in. It's kind of like the FTW, but it's in the green and black. They made very few of those, so they're really hard to find, so wasn't able to get that. This was my second favorite pattern, and like I said, it's only available in the Venom, which means it's a UK model. The other reason I picked this one up is because you can actually find the Simpson Venom for significantly less expensive than the Ghost Bandit. You can pick these up from UK vendors for anywhere from $150 to $200 off. They have them in the solid black, the matte black, the carbon, and then a couple of the different pattern styles like this. So I ended up picking this one up from the Visor Shop. It's a UK based company. They had free shipping as well, so I didn't have to pay anything extra for shipping. And I was able to get it in, I think it maybe took 5 days. So really not bad at all, especially since it had to go through customs. Obviously that could vary if there's a customs issue, that could hold it up. But mine made it in and out of customs in the same day. So I was able to get it pretty quickly. Next we'll go over some features of this helmet. If you're not familiar with the Ghost Bandit, this will kind of give you an idea of what it has. So it has the top vents. It has what's called the Venturi ridges, which are supposed to help with buffeting, send the airflow right up over the top. It came with a clear shield. I swapped it out. I ended up going to, I believe it was Revzilla, and getting a tinted shield for it, the dark smoke. And then it does have the drop down shield as well, which you can replace with whichever color you would like, or you can leave it as the tinted. It is pin lock ready. So I have a clear pin lock in here because obviously you don't want to get too dark with the visor. So if I were to put a tinted pin lock on a tinted visor, it could get a little bit too dark to see. So I have the clear pin lock. The clear pin lock did come with the clear visor. So I was able to just move it over once the tinted visor came in, so that was pretty easy there. It does have pretty good venting in the front. I'll be honest, I live in Southwest Florida, like I mentioned before, and it gets very, very hot here. So being able to have some good front vents, I can actually feel the air coming through these, which is nice. The only drawback on the top of the helmet is that these vents up here, up top, those actually do make noise. So I've heard of some people just putting filler foam, just a little cutout in those, and that makes the helmet much, much quieter, because at 50 miles an hour, you can't hear it at all. At 70 or 80 miles an hour or more, you hear kind of just an airflow sound that comes through those vents. I don't really feel a ton of actual airflow from those vents, so if you felt the need to go ahead and just block those off, it probably wouldn't be that bad as far as changing the airflow, but it would make the helmet much quieter. I've heard of a few people that have done that. So that's the main things there. It is a very snug entry fit, which is what it's supposed to be from a safety standpoint. So when you put the helmet on, it's definitely a challenge to get it on at first. And my only complaint other than a little bit of noise from those top vents, which doesn't really bother me that much, is these cheek pads right here. Give me chipmunk cheeks pretty bad, and pretty much everybody I've ever seen gets pretty bad chipmunk cheeks from these because they really stick out. Mention in the comments below if you know of somewhere that I can get lower profile cheek pads for this helmet. That would be fantastic. I have kind of a big head. This is an extra large, and these cheek pads are pretty extreme on my face. Speaking of sizing, this is an extra large. I will compare that to my Shoei, which this is a Neotech 2, just for reference, but the RF 1500 and the GT Air, that was the other one I was trying to think of, they all fit about the same. I've tried them all on. So this being a Neotech 2, this is also an extra large, and it fits pretty much identical to the Simpsons, so just for sizing reference. A couple other things to mention. It is a D-ring closure, so kind of your old school standard double D-ring closure here. It's not a quick detach. I like quick detach usually. This doesn't really bother me, but I do have an adapter for it, so I may add that later on to make it a quick detach. So one other thing that I also wanted to mention too is one of my favorite features of this helmet, where they place the speakers inside here and how they have kind of a protective layer, a protective liner that goes over the speakers, and they sit really far back in. They're nice and deep, so they keep them out away from your ears just a little bit more. And I have this, and we'll talk about this in another review video, but this is a Lexan G16. Great unit, and I have it in a couple of different helmets, and I just switched the unit itself. And in this helmet, it sounds significantly better, which is interesting, and it kind of, the only thing that would make sense is that extra layer, I think, of neoprene or whatever it is, kind of deadens some of the sharp highs that you get from that particular speaker system. So when you have certain sounds in music or podcasts or whatever else, sometimes it can be a little grating on your ears, but that extra layer of neoprene, I think, actually helps to kind of cushion that. So other than that, not a ton else to talk about with this helmet. I just know that there's a lot of people who wanted to know if there was any differences between this and a Ghost Bandit, and long story short, there are no differences. Aside from the DOT certification, which is literally just, it's the exact same helmet. The only difference is they didn't seek the DOT certification for a helmet that wasn't going to be made in the United States. Doesn't change the safety at all. Still has ECE, which is a much higher regulatory body for helmet safety. If you ever look into that at all, DOT certification is very minimal. ECE and a couple of the other certifications, SNEL, stuff like that, they're much more stringent with the tests that they have to pass in order to get those certifications. So that's pretty much the rundown, and I'll do another, like I said, we'll be talking soon about this Lexan G16, because that is one of my favorite units out there. I've tried Sennas, I've tried a bunch of different stuff, and this Lexan G16 is definitely well worth the money. So we'll come to that next time, but for now, ride safe, have fun, and we'll see you out there.